pre-season pump episode. We've been gone a little while, and we're sitting down ready to get back into it for season 2025. It's been a minute, boys.
Sorry.
Are we saying who we are? We're not doing that anymore.
We can do that if you want.
can do that.
Yeah,
If you can get that out.
Yeah, no, I'm Chad, and I'm now medicated, so I'm looking forward to returning for another season of 2025. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm Dan.
And I'm Finn.
Beautiful.
Welcome to the podcast.
So pre-season, we've decided
Before we jump in,
Go
let's just do a bit of talking about what happened last year.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
just gonna sweep it under the rug and pretend it didn't happen.
Well,
we had a tumultuous year amongst all of us. We had to shit the bed, stop kind of 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, we did.
So to make it up to all the listener, we're going to put out a different range of content this year and thus change the format of this podcast.
Yeah, slightly. I mean,
Well, yes, not slightly. You've cut it in half and you've pretty much
Completely
changed everything about it.
You say you like it wasn't a collaborative process.
It was you cut it in half.
Did I? I suggested maybe 45 minutes rather than
you cut it in half.
All right.
Everything
the
else
bad
might
guy.
have been a
I'm the bad
collaborative
guy.
effort, but you definitely cut it in
Mate, I
half.
always came for a marathon. I'll go all night. I don't give a fuck.
Especially with the new drugs he's on.
Yeah. No,
Just FYI, this is usually when they start tapering off, so I might go from Trump to Biden by the end of this podcast. So it's going to be an experience. So stay tuned. It's going to get more chaotic as we go.
Fucking hell.
But we do record at an undisclosed time of day,
Absolutely.
as usual.
Yeah. We're not. I don't even know what time it is.
It's a Monday.
It is. Oh, the illusion's broken. We've been working on that illusion.
It's the start of the season. It's not the current part of the season yet. Anyway,
True.
so we're looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Chad's going to be running the gram. He just doesn't know it yet.
I'm the youngest one here, so I think I should be in charge of social media. Yes.
Are you the youngest one here? Because you're older than me.
Yeah.
His birthday's in 2 days.
Oh yeah. So you just volunteered as tribute for the gram, or?
No. He's more trendy.
Yeah.
true.
I've got salt and pepper in the beard now. Check it.
Yeah.
You do have a
of,
little bit of salt.
Just for the lady listener we've got. We might have another one. So, Drita, if you're listening from work, this is a test to see if you're actually going to listen. You'll be asked again on Friday how it went.
in your performance review.
Yeah. We'll line up the KPI review over there, eh?
Oh,
I didn't position his microphone, so it's just covering his face, and I'm like,
Well, that's right, yeah. I'm like Mr. X. Yeah.
That's
Internet warrior.
do you want a mask? I'll get you a mask.
That is brilliant.
Anyway, let's get stuck into it.
Let's do it. So, in the interest of transparency, we did talk about mixing up the format. So we've all sort of picked a little something that we want to talk about. Anybody want to volunteer and go first?
Well, I think Chad should, since he was too scared to start the episode.
Yeah.
No, I think mine's the shortest. I guess this is.
Nah, yours can be really hashed out. That's what worries me.
No, we could do. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, long story short, that we don't know if Miss Jackson is for real anymore. He may. He's got a girlfriend now, and now his $7 million deal's up in the air because she lives in Victoria. That's an interesting story. The season's not even started yet.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the? Like, where's that come from?
Well,
As
look,
you already said that-
are you surprised?
What, the fact he would leave for some tail?
Well, just his
The fact that he
character
would leave
just
full stop.
screams that.
Yeah, well, but it's a weird reason to even like. Obviously, you would think his managers put that up in the air because.
Well,
they want
look, I
the
think
interest in
I
it.
think the discussion's been had.
No.
Yeah, there was that thing the other day about Cozzy Pickett and his draft value, his trade value. Right? He wants to go home, and they've said, well, he's not going anywhere unless there's 3 first-round draft picks, right?
Yeah.
Now, when I first looked at that, I thought, all right, he's publicly inflating his trade value to the West in the hopes that builds traction, so then it will dilute the trade value, or at least cover an element of the trade value for Harley Reid. All right, because that's the way. How does a Victorian club with nothing to offer over the next 2 years make that deal happen?
Tanking.
Well, no. Even then, based on
You wouldn't tank for something like that.
you needed 3 first-round picks the draft year,
Yeah.
and you never know what's going to happen over the next 2 years of his contract, right? So, if he does become this fucking new god of football like they expect him to, that value is going to be a bit higher than 3 first-rounders like it was in the draft.
Where's
That's
Harley
true.
Reid's girlfriend from? Is she local?
No,
she's
Victoria.
from
Oh God, they're all going.
Plays for
Well, I don't think
Carlton
so.
in FLW.
I think she'll end up playing for West Coast locally. She spends a bit of time here.
Mm.
But we're digressing from the actual story.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Jackson.
So I originally that's what I thought was
So
intention.
are you
of that.
thinking Cozzy Pickett and
No. I'm saying because Reed's value is expected to increase, right?
Yeah.
Beyond what was his original value, which was 3 first rounders, 3 top 10s essentially was what that draft pick would have been traded away for,
Yeah.
as the us armchair experts determined. So when I read that, I went, oh yeah, well his value is going to go up. They're overinflating Cozzies who wants to go back to WA. They might go, well, we can give you Cozzy and a first rounder, another future first round. That's 5 first rounders there. Right, that's where my brain went.
yeah, yeah,
Because
okay.
they're deciding that Cozzy's worth that 3. But now, after that bit of leaking's come on for, I think it was Mitch Cleary who leaked the story.
So it's got credibility then.
So it said that then says to me that they wanted to throw Cozzy out as trade bait to Fremantle and West Coast now.
See what
Obviously, predominantly for Fremantle, not what my brain was going to. So that when season comes back around and Luke Jackson says, season's end, says, I want to go back home. I want to go back to Victoria. My girlfriend's there. The D's will take me back.
Do you think they would?
Who?
The D's have him back.
100%.
Yeah, they didn't want to really let him go in the first place, but
Maybe then he
They
turns
didn't
back
want
on
to.
him.
but it puts Freo in the box there. Cozzy wants to come home and Jackson wants to go home, so they can
Well, Jackson's from here.
negotiate a
He
bit
doesn't want to
harder.
go home. He wants to go...
Back to Melbourne.
Wouldn't it make sense to move her here? Would it be cheaper?
That's what I would fucking do.
Yeah.
Just maybe an air ticket, perhaps. Yeah. Like, does she play AFL? Is she an AFLW or is she
No,
just
I
a
don't know
civilian?
who she is.
Civvy? Yeah.
I've seen Longmuir talk today about he was queried about it in the press today,
Yeah.
and he said not even thinking about it. It's not on our radar. It's not a thing.
I mean, it's,
The way I've seen this is verbatim.
it's kind of a standard
This
preseason
is verbatim from what I've seen of Luke in the preseason. I don't think he wants to leave this footy club.
Yeah, right on.
It's, I mean, Freo would if he wants to go though, I would let him go because that's a lot of salary cap
he's a
space.
fucking
So much
and
money.
he's a
Yeah.
dunce as well.
Well, he's not proven himself yet. No.
Wait, not even remotely. It's
No.
like they've just done the. He was meant to come into that footy team, take him to a grand final. That was the whole point of getting him in there, and all he's done is create issues between himself and the big man, and then Josh Tracy ends up stepping up to be the big fella.
Well, something the big lad he stepped up to. I can't remember what his name is. Simpson, is it? Another big forward for Fremantle. So Simpson and Tracy, they complement each other. He's in the way now.
I don't think there's a player Simpson at Freo.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure there is.
There's Sean
I don't think
Darcy,
there
there's
is.
Luke Jackson, and there's
I think he was the first year
Tracy.
player last year.
Oh, was he? I wouldn't.
He's a big dude, not as big as Fogarty, but similar body stuff.
Oh
but
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, you
Big
might
dude.
be right, but it's but for their 3 rucking sized players, bringing Luke Jackson in actually hurt
It upset the mix up.
what was going on. Yeah, so it's the same old. It's what happened with Grundy as well
Mm-hmm.
and Gorn. You put the two best ruckmen together.
To be fair, timing's probably better for Luke Jackson to be at the D's now because Gorn's obviously at the back end of it. So
Yeah, he'll take first position. The next
And he was a
year.
better player there than he has been since he got to Freo.
100%.
That Jackson's he can't swing forward. He's not.
No,
He's
but
not a presence,
he's a great
yeah.
ruckman. But
Absolutely,
Sean
yeah.
Darcy's a better ruckman, and Josh Tracy is another good ruckman. It's just
Yeah.
created
And a better
pause
forward
on it.
than
So
Luke
as you
Jackson.
said, Freo probably are in the hot seat because they can go, well, let's get rid of this fucking bad call we made.
Yeah.
Bring another small forward to help Shea Bolton.
Well, Melbourne win and Fremantle wins. If they can almost do a straight
Yeah.
swap.
But that's what I
Yeah.
think that whole point about Cozzy Pickett's value was because like Luke Jackson retains a lot of trade value, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of what his performance is at Fremantle, he's a natural big ruckman.
Yeah.
They hold value.
Who can
right?
perform in that role.
So if he wants to go to Melbourne, there's fucking 10 teams over there who need ruckman. Right?
That's true.
It's not just the D's.
That is true.
There's a lot of pretty women in Perth. We'll hook Kaiser up. A nice one.
You
So he
reckon?
stays. Yeah. Yeah.
You reckon?
So I think that's just what that whole thing was about, was to try form a trade before the season's even started.
It's just a weird time to bring it up. Like,
well, it gives you the whole year to keep putting fucking earworms in, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's every week. It's like, oh, what are you doing? Like, we have to do the same old song and dance.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like,
100%.
just
The
move
media
on.
back and forth. But there was a bit.
If it means they're talking about a fucking player other than Harley Reid for 12 months, I'm
you'll
all for
take
it.
it.
Well, Australian have to get a new writer in here.
That's it. That's it. There was a bit of talk this week though. Ross Lyon and even Adam Simpson said something on the radio about this sort of conversation coming up between players and clubs, and it coming up earlier in the year, and being a bit more of an NRL model. There's a bit more open discussion about what players' intentions is.
Well,
Players' intentions are.
I think transparency's important, but it does impact your performance.
I think so. Yeah. So I think it's kind of wild that like things like Sam Mitchell approaching Tom Barrass in the middle of a year and things like that.
That's
that shit shouldn't be allowed,
that's
in
a
my
bit
opinion.
different because they're teteammates.
Yeah,
They were teammates
Yeah.
and they played together. He coached them beyond that.
Yeah.
He's
That
part
was
of
just an example.
he's part of their premiership coaching panel.
Hmm.
You can't use that as an example because that's the
Hey mate, what
how you going, boys?
Yeah.
I guarantee you he talks to them like they were at TB's wedding over
Yeah.
there.
The Geelong one where they came over to try and poach Bogue, that was inappropriate.
That was
a bad
and
one.
that
Yeah.
is 100% inappropriate.
Yeah.
And like
That's kind of what I was getting at, but I feel like any of them are
the
inappropriate.
players, managers reaching out to I'll go back to that high profile player from Sydney who wants to play with Harley Reid, and the manager approached West Coast about it.
Was that Warner?
Well, everyone assumes it was Warner.
Yeah.
Because that's something that's what Simo announced as one of the last things before he was sacked was that.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it was after he was sacked because he could talk about it. It might have been on
Maybe on
Will Schofield's podcast.
In the article I was reading about the other day, Simo said that he must have approached over his 10 years there at least 50 players. And none of those conversations came off well when you're approaching players mid-year. Whether that's meeting them when they come over to Perth or when you're over there.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever. None of those conversations come off well.
And they shouldn't
Because there's so much water that has to go under the bridge before it actually becomes pen to paper.
Well, the coach doesn't have a lot to say over the list either sometimes. Like, it's
sometimes,
the club.
yeah.
And it's that's one thing, and secondly, it's like it affects performance. Getting interrupted like that, player managers shouldn't be reaching out to clubs like that because that can influence how a club goes to drafting as well. If they think this is something we can chase afterwards, it impacts the whole club on that level.
Mm-hmm.
But someone like Sam Mitchell calling Tom Barrass, you have no control over that when they are mates. Like,
no, you don't.
There was a few Hawks
but there's a
guys
line, like when you're a professional in an industry, there's a line where you find yourself having that conversation, and maybe you should stop yourself. Because
he's a professional.
There's still
He
appropriate
could
and
have
inappropriate.
Sam Mitchell and Harley Reid at opposite tables just to try and make.
Well,
it
they were at
no
opposite.
shit.
They were at opposite.
He was giving it the mingle, wasn't he?
Yeah, Sam Mitchell. He's the one that fucking shut the media up about it because there's a few Hawks guys at that wedding because obviously it's a bit mandatory. You join the new team. The first few guys who have had it, but say he hadn't gone, Sam Mitchell probably still would have been at his wedding anyway because they're buddies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Harley was sitting with Tom Cole and someone else, and Mitchell came over to talk to them because they're his ex-teammates and he coached them and they're his buddies.
He actually said, he said you could have got a picture of me with anyone. Tom Cole,
'cause
Jamie
he
Cripps,
sat,
Jeremy
they were all
McGovern.
sat there for
He's
ages.
selling papers.
But I thought it was actually pretty good of Sam Mitchell. He's black and white with everything. Right?
Yeah.
If you saw him on the weekend, he's fucking so cut and dry. It's not funny.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that. Just slightly off subject, that little documentary that they've made of their preseason. I saw a clip of it the other day, and he doesn't pull his punches. When
No,
he's
he
talking
doesn't.
to that
He's
team.
just seen when he talks to the media and everything. So when I read that, like, if it was like Ross Lyon, I was like, he's so full of shit. He was trying to poach him. He did that on purpose. He would Ross Lyon. He's talking shit all the time. But Sam Mitchell was like, I wasn't sat next to him. I went and sat at the table to talk with everyone. You could have taken a photo of me with Tommy Cole or whatever he said in that thing. And he's the one who cleared it up because it is poisonous for football culture.
It sure
especially
is.
if you're in finals contention, you don't want players thinking about next year before they've even finished this year.
Well,
I mean,
no,
I've been
that's
approached by a different podcast, but I wasn't because I want to focus on this year's performance with you lads. But just saying, I'm available.
You are 100%. You are 100% dead right though.
Yeah.
Is that like it does affect performance?
To come back to the Jackson thing, when you're arguably not performing very well in your role anyway, that's probably the last thing your club needs when they're pushing for to be a contender in finals as well.
Yeah,
Well, it's about your commitment to the team. It's like, and I'm not saying, look, love is love, but what is your commitment if you waver that quickly over something? You know, it's like,
If you're a best 22 player, but 23 player, the rest of them are looking around going, well, should you be a walk-up start here now? Like, if your head's half in, half out.
Well, it's camaraderie. It's like, like a new girlfriend can tear us apart.
Yeah.
That's
Yoko Ono
that's
thing.
bros before the hose thing. It's like, it's like, you don't bring Yoko into Paul McCartney. You stay the fuck out the studio. You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting in terms of, like you said, those big contracts. I'm like, how much are they? What legitimacy do they have behind them?
I mean, like we've spoken about this a few times before. We know that there's very little legitimacy in them at this point.
It's publicity. It's like, let's sell memberships over the next 7 years.
Exactly. I mean, apart from that initial that you sign in when you get drafted and you sign that 3-year, whatever it is, the rest of them have got very little value. I think in terms of years, they should be a dollar amount. And
clubs still persist on them. It's weird. It's like just 3 or 4 years. Keep it at that. Yeah.
Well, I think I understand it for high-profile players, right? I understand
it's
it.
usually them that are like being swayed to break those contracts and move on elsewhere.
100%, but it just shows those players the commitment they're making to the player. Rather
true.
than the dollar value. It's not so much like they go to work for money, right?
Yeah.
They play footy for money. It's the whole point of a long contract is say we want you to be part of this football club and we're investing in you to invest in us.
Yeah.
I think that's the purpose of it. Like
That
as much as you don't need it anymore, right? Like you're going to believe that the club wants you there if you slap a 10-year deal in front of them.
Yeah.
Like, when Chad Warner's coming up end of this season, right? Then he goes into restricted free agency or whatever it is. If Sydney will make him an offer of a significant amount of money, but it will be a long-term deal.
Yeah.
Because they will be making a statement to him to say, no, stay in Sydney. We're
We want you here for the
guaranteeing
long
you
haul.
the rest of your playing career at this footy club in this city where you're going to be happy
Yeah.
and we'll look after you. Right?
I guess. And then it gives another team a negotiating piece too. Like, well, we'll give you an extra year or whatever. But
Well, I guess if he ever does want to leave, it gives the clubs more power. Because then it's like you have to broker a decent deal, or we won't let you go. So,
yeah.
but then again, it's complicated. But even though we're trying to offer that young GWS guy, was it like 13 million or something? Was it that young? Was he a defender or something? I can't remember what his name was. That was in the media.
Oh, Finn Callahan.
Yeah, how much were they offering? It's like ridiculous.
St Kilda, 13 million, yeah.
Yeah.
For how long?
10 years?
10 years, yeah.
Jesus.
It'd be the largest AFL contract in history, and he turned it down.
Good
I can't remember his name. Like, who was
Callahan.
he? Yeah, was he defender?
No, he's a midfielder. It's fucking gun. He's going to be one of the. Give him 2 more years, and he's top 4 in Brownlow, I reckon.
You're right. So yeah, there's a reason. Though. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
That's Buddy Franklin.
It goes back to the St Kilda can't land a big fish because no one wants to go there.
Mm-mm. No. Evident in their preseason.
But that's what Buddy commanded when he went to Sydney. And you think he's not even established himself yet. He's already when you get to a superstar of that magnitude, what are you going to pay them? Because it's like he's not even played 60 games yet.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they've gone to him because they can clearly see his apparent talent and his work rate. Everyone knows he's going to be good, right? The Giants will hold on to him, and they've had a lot of issues over the years where they have let players go early because their salary cap issues. Like, look at all the talent that's left that footy club over the last 10 years.
And yet they've still remained competitive, which is scary.
Because they're a player generating machine. Like they just fucking pump them out, right? And they got another one here, but they've got less of their salary cap issues they used to have now. They've gotten out of that phase, so they can start retaining players properly. He will be one they'll retain because him and Tom Green will be the powerhouse beyond their current elder players, and St Kilda have approached every other A grader already, and they've all told them to get fucked. So it's that footy club needs its own episode.
Yeah, it does, and it's definitely got nothing to do with Luke Jackson.
No. Well, but it's actually been a very.
I'm sorry what the fuck you were going with that. We're off topic again.
That's what happens when you discuss topics that are quite contentious about that. Is they lead into further explanation on it.
They do.
He'll go to Melbourne. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah, I think it'll be a
Just
swab.
to close that out. I'm pretty confident he'll leave.
Yeah, but
And
Freo
Freo
got the
better
upper
off.
hand on the
They're
negotiating
better
table.
off without him as well.
Well, they have two of the young best Indigenous between Bolton and Pickett. Like,
Oh, mate.
two great
it'd be
players.
fucking
Yeah.
bullshit good. Like, bullshit. And they'll still do nothing with it. But
No, exactly. Yeah.
keep my opinions to
Back
myself.
to the waffle. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sure, Bolton's going to look great at Peel.
Another premiership for Peel.
Yeah. Fuck me. All right. Well, it kind of ties in quite nicely with that's what I wanted to chat about. I was looking. Obviously, I watched a couple of the preseason games, and I was watching the West Coast game, and I messaged you just like, I don't know how it slipped under my radar, but Caleb Daniel now plays for North Melbourne.
Yeah, it tripped me out seeing Jack Darling in the last quarter.
Well,
that was like,
Last
what's
quarter,
going
he
on?
you not see him in the first?
belted him in the
I
first.
only tuned in for the
It was
last
West
one,
Coast
yeah.
versus Jack. It was
Yeah.
a fucking open training session for the West
It
Coast.
was kind of wild, yeah, but he still can't kick straight. No, I shouldn't say that. He's kicked a lot of goals, but
A lot of fucking goals.
yeah.
Second best at West Coast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
But behind JK. Yeah.
Yeah, and second most games played. Before you get stuck into the Caleb Daniel, just on that lot, because we didn't cover any of this stuff last year.
No.
Like, this is good on him. And good on the club for letting him go, right?
Who, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk specifically about Caleb Daniel.
Oh,
I
okay,
want to talk
yeah,
about player movement
Yeah,
in general,
yeah,
because
yeah.
there's a few little sneaky
Yeah.
ones. North picked up Caleb Daniel, Jack Darling, Luke Parker.
Yeah.
Close to
Oh, yeah.
750 games or something experience
Which
between
is what
those
they needed.
three players.
Which is
Was,
exactly
was
what...
Luke Parker on the track, or he's not
No,
back
he's
yet?
injured,
No,
isn't he?
still
Yeah,
injured.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's not back yet, but there's a few others too. So good on Jack, 100%. They must have obviously fixed him up, like paid him pretty well, and obviously there's a lot about him wanting to be over in Melbourne too and change a few things about his life. But good on him. That's
Yeah,
a
but
lease
like,
on life
he
in his
was
career.
happy to go over there. It's good for his family.
Mhm.
He gets longevity in his career because let's face it, he's still got plenty of good footy in him,
Mhm.
just not at West Coast
Yeah, 100%.
because he's holding out
Jake Waterman or
the couple of young kids that are coming through. It's just time for him to move on, right?
Mhm.
And generally, when a forward gets to his age, they're retiring.
yeah,
But he's got a lot of football to offer. He's just affecting development there. Whereas at North Melbourne, they have no key forward who can really do it. And
yeah. And he's got a lot of experience, and leadership,
just leadership in
gonna
that
help
front
them
line,
out.
and he led by example in that preseason game. He just went and fuck. I don't care if these are my best mates. I'm gonna go fucking kick their asses.
Mhm.
And to his credit, he did.
He did.
Was Jack Darling at the wedding?
Yeah,
Ooh. Was he?
yeah. Jack Darling was at
Who was
the
he
win.
talking
'Cause
to?
he was he and Tom Barras are pretty close, I believe.
Yeah.
With the oh no, I just went completely blank. Then.
Tom Barras is a
Darling.
dog, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck him.
He's a
So
hawk.
we'll talk about player movement in a minute.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot. Yeah, like that tripped me out. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I'd pull up the list and have a look
Oh,
at
cool.
who's
You
traded from
compile
where.
it. Yeah, good.
I didn't really compile it. I've got the AFL.com.
So you stole it off
article.
someone else. Yeah,
Yeah, I've just got the article, so I'm just
you
gonna
want to
flick
give
through it.
you want to give some credit to the
The old
person who
Kane Corns,
put
Daisy
that
Thomas
together
going on
for
there.
you.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Staff writers, great job. AFL.com.au.
All right. Well, still, there's
Yeah.
someone did that fucking work.
They did,
for you.
and I didn't have to, so I appreciate
Yeah.
it. But I'm looking at, obviously, there's a lot of draft picks and there's a lot of SSP players and stuff like that have gone through. But I just wanted to look at just the trades. Adelaide picked up Alex Neil-Bullen
Yeah, good pickup.
and James Peatling from GWS.
Another good pickup.
Two good, very good pickup.
Yeah.
And Curtin looked nice in the preseason.
Till he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brizzy, not a lot going on there. A couple of
They're
draft
fine.
pickups, but that's
They
fine.
don't need to do shit.
Nah.
Just show up on the day.
There'll
of
be
the
a very good
tournament.
title defence this year, I think. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Carlton picked up Nick Haynes, free agent from GWS.
Yeah, that's
a wicked pickup for them
good
too.
pickup.
Collingwood, Harry Perryman from GWS, and Tim Membry,
Tim Membry,
which is unreal.
Stupid.
Majacek, Membry,
yeah,
and
worst forward line I've ever on paper. Worst forward line on paper ever.
They're
It's
going to be
gonna
so
work.
competitive, man.
It's gonna work. I know.
Yeah.
That's what annoys me is on paper it is a fucking
Yeah.
shit forward line.
Oh, but in reality, they're going to.
You know what? I really hope Tim Membry drops the Saints hoodoo.
McStay, that's the name.
He's
I was
not a
looking
bad
for.
player. He's a
The
good
M's.
contester. He'll bring it to ground.
Yeah, but
Like-
he's a shit
will.
player. He's been a shit player. He fucking irritates me. I hate him.
Oh
right?
no,
Because
I don't. I think he's been consistent for a long time.
consistent at missing goals, mate. Like it's fucking.
But he's not necessarily
It's the go.
the only thing that he's there for. He creates
Saint-
contests.
Yeah, but he
every
shouldn't
time.
have to be creating contests. It's my whole point why he should drop the Saints hoodoo because his
Yeah.
job is to kick goals. And when you find him in halfback trying to win the fucking ball because the rest of his team's shit.
True.
Well, we won't have to do that anymore. So
Yeah, so
hopefully
that's what I'm
actually
saying.
get to play
I
forward
really
line,
hope that he drops that. McStay's obviously a gun, but you saw McStay and Mycheck last year weren't working well together, right?
No. But now the
Well,
three
McStay only
M's-
had. Well, how long did he was out quickly, wasn't he? Was
Yeah,
he
but
injured?
when
yeah.
He wasn't
They
the
were-
year before. He
No,
played
Marvin,
last year. The
he
year
did,
before,
year
he was
before,
injured.
yeah,
His
yeah.
first
Because he
year
missed
there.
for the grand final. Yeah. it
Oh,
was-
that's right. Yeah, geez, I missed a year. Okay, yep.
But they
Well,
were.
that's how it feels though, because last year
Went
this
into
all
half
fell
season,
apart,
yeah.
and feels
So,
like a year just disappeared.
Yeah, I feel like they weren't going well together, but I think it'll work really well with Membry Jordan.
Yeah.
I hope it does for
They
Membry.
just need somebody tall who can bring it to ground, like minimum.
But not,
get it to ground, yeah.
not one of those three people is tall.
Membry's alright.
No, he's not. He's the same height as fucking Mycheck.
Yeah,
Is he?
Pretty much the
He looks
same
tall on the
height,
TV. Maybe I
No,
don't.
he looks tall on TV because they're
McStay's a pretty tall fella, but
He's literally just a touch taller than him, but like they're not key forward size. Like
no.
not one of all three. None of the three of them are key forward size.
Well, as long as they can, like the midfield class enough to be able to.
Membry
run
look.
it.
Membry
Yeah,
look.
that's kind of what they're banking on, right?
That's
To
right.
go
Yeah,
in-
to get
yeah.
that takes away the need to have tall key forward.
Yeah.
Because Mason Cox can swing forward when they need it, so it's like, and we know he can. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably going to be a really good arrangement. But yeah, Membry looked tall at St Kilda because they were. You had 6 forwards. All 5 of
smalls.
them were small, and
Yeah.
one of them was a medium-sized forward.
Yeah.
And they thought that was going to get them games.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then what did they do? They drafted more small forwards.
Smart. Not much happened for the Bombies, but then you look at Freo. Like I said, they brought in Shea Bolton, so not a huge amount else for them, but he's going to be a gun.
Oh, he's
for them.
already is a gun. He
Yeah.
looked fucking wicked.
He's going to be so good for them.
They're thinking like
He
a
did-
Bradley Hill line breaker kind of role.
Well, Brad
Yeah.
Hill sucks, so...
He was not good at Freo. Yep.
Hey?
He wasn't good at Freo. He was all right at Hawthorn.
He was
terrible
brilliant at
Fremantle,
Hawthorn,
yeah.
and then he checked out when he got his big payday back in WA.
Yeah.
And that's... I've seen someone do a... Sorry, just to digress real quick.
You're right.
They're putting together state of origin teams because it sounds like AFL might bring it back.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
we
cool.
we can discuss that next week, I think.
Yeah.
But someone put together some mock teams, and WA had Brad Hill on it, and I was like, who the fuck put this team together?
Yeah,
like,
you're
he's there.
right.
You could literally put a brand new draft pick there instead of him. That would have been my phone, and it was. Anyway,
It's the most violent vibration I've ever heard.
continue.
Geelong. So they brought in Jack Martin as a delisted free agent and Bailey Sniff, trade from Western Bulldogs.
Yeah.
That's a lot coming into them too. No.
Anyway,
All right, Gold
Keep going.
Coast. They brought in Elliot Himmelberg.
good pickup.
Good pickup. They brought in John Noble
Good pickup.
and they
That's
brought in
brilliant.
Dan Riola. Like unreal amounts of experience that have shifted clubs, and
Oh, yeah.
a few of them that just sort of slipped under the radar. Obviously, not for everyone. They did for me.
I wasn't paying attention to Gold Coast. They're good pickups.
They're great.
They're
Very
on a
good
but
list
they
already,
gave up.
yeah.
They would have given up a lot for it.
Yeah, absolutely they would. I'm not looking into the detail of it, but then the Giants picked up Jake Stringer in
That-
trade with Essendon.
It's like they're going to be amazing. There's going to be no
You
in
said-
between.
You see his new jumper, his new number.
No.
Wow, what have
He
you
chose
done?
it because it's under 18.
Oh, got a number of lines to cross tonight.
I mean, him and Hogan. It's like they're going to be incredible, or it's not going to go well.
Jake Stringer is going to do so much better at GWS
Yeah.
because he's going to get ball supply.
I'm in that camp, 100%. Yeah.
And I think the coach is very. You're either fit or you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
100%.
and
Yeah,
he's an overweight man who is still fucking fit as fuck. So but Stringer he was expected to take games on his shoulders, man.
Yeah.
Like, expected. It was so expected that commentators were saying, "Oh, don't worry, Jake Stringer will fix this now."
At some point, Jake Stringer will turn it on. Yeah.
Well, why should he have to? The rest of his team should fucking.
Well, he
do
was
it.
never that at Bulldogs. He was never the. They wouldn't put the team on his shoulders.
No, he's an
Yeah.
X Factor player. He's not a fucking. He's not a Bontempelli.
He's a Cyril Rioli kind of. There's that flash. of,
Correct. That's
wow,
all you need. And
game
he'll,
changed. Yeah.
He'll bomb 6 goals on in fucking 12 minutes, and that's him done.
Yeah.
He's gassed, but it's
Yeah.
all good. It was
But
worth it.
that's the make or break of the game, though. But he needs the supply to do
And like
it.
you say, it comes down to that. Yeah. And at GWS, he's 100%.
Gonna get fucking so much supply.
Yeah. Hawthorn had a good one. They got Josh Battle from St Kilda, Tom Barras from West Coast.
Yeah,
2 big ins. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Josh Battle will be good there too.
Ironically, their back line was shit.
Yeah. Yep. Melbourne.
Harley Reid's at Hawthorn? Not yet.
Not yet. No, a couple of years.
No.
Yeah.
Not much over there at Melbourne, but I do just want to say they picked up Jack Colley in the
Yeah,
supplementary.
I still can't believe you guys let him go. I like
mate,
him.
It's absolutely
I
ridiculous.
think every single member had a problem with him.
When you look at the
Yeah.
list profile, it's like he was the last player you were going to let go.
Yeah. But I understand.
Whatever.
I think they did it based on what the game plan moving forward is, because he's not fast.
No, he's not.
And they don't need another bull because they were bringing in 2 bulls from Richmond.
From Richmond, yeah. Obviously, we talked about North Melbourne. Port, who'd they get?
They got someone good. I can't. I watched them play on the weekend. I can't remember who it was.
Joe Richards from Collingwood. I don't know who that is. Jack Lukosius from the Gold Coast.
Yeah, look, a big liquor. Yeah.
Big in.
Yeah.
Big
Charlie
in.
Dixon out. Lukosius in.
Yeah.
Goal kicking in.
Goal kicking.
There's
way
five,
less points than on the full.
There's an average of like 3 goals 5 per game right there.
Yeah.
He's going to be like the Westhoff because he can go back and he can swing and he can still play in the midfield. Like he's going to be,
He's so much better than Westhoff.
No, but I'm saying the archetype is the same play.
Yeah,
He's-
don't make him. He shouldn't be that archetype. He should be kick goals archetype and only kick goals.
yeah, he's good enough to stay,
Because
but
Port don't need him anywhere else other than that.
no, it's more. So I should say more like Burgoyne, where like he'll go where he needs to go if there's if the game's coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a swing man if he needs to be, but predominant key. Yeah,
Yeah.
should have come to the Crows, but that's okay.
That's okay.
We got
you picked
Rankin.
up a couple, so you'll be all right.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. Looked fairly competitive in a pre-season game. Obviously, it's a pre-season game, so there's a lot.
Yeah, we'll see if they remember to play in the third and fourth quarters this year.
Yeah.
We won't go on next. I'll get upset, but keep going.
St Kilda, they got Jack McRae, so Jack McRae's decided it's time to end his career early.
He's injured anyway, isn't he?
Is
I
he?
think his body's been falling apart, flat Bicky, so
That's unlucky.
he just went for the money. Good on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't we'll get off early in September. That's all right. Yeah.
He'll retire season end.
Yeah, absolutely. Not much at Sydney apart from people out, and West Coast. You just mentioned it before. Jack Graham, Matt Owies.
Jack Graham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jack Graham from Richmond.
That's a
Liam
big
Baker
in.
from
He didn't play on the weekend though, did he?
Yeah.
Did he?
Fucking
Yeah, he was ball magnet. Yeah.
dropping everyone on their hole.
He's he's that leader you want though, because like him
Absolutely.
and
And Liam Baker.
him and Reed.
He's part of the leadership group already. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Reed will be the they'll be the word. And if they can get
Mate, they
your
got-
mate Chatty Warner
They
in,
got
like
Liam Baker.
They got Liam Baker at
Never
half.
he
mind-
played well. Yeah,
Never
yeah.
mind Jack Graham. They got Liam Baker is fucking so fast.
See him kick that 60-metre
And
bomb too.
bomb that ball. And you know what? I wanted to touch this. We're about to come around to it, right? And don't want to go into too much detail about the games, other than a quick, brief summary of what I think pre-season showed. But Liam Baker kicking that first goal for West Coast, right? He grew up supporting that goal, right? He's a fucking diehard blue and gold. That goal means nothing. It's pre-season, right?
Yeah, how fucking pumped was he?
And he was like fucking so stoked, and the whole team got around him. And then did you see what happened when Jack kicked his first one for North Melbourne?
Yeah, not a lot.
2
Yeah,
high
couple
fives
of
from
high
his
fives and move on.
other
Yeah.
2 forwards, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that's when Baker kicked that. I was like, yeah, there's no way North can win this game.
No.
Because
There's already a unity and something going on there.
that's right,
that-
at West Coast,
Yeah.
that is clearly not apparent at North Melbourne.
No, it's probably his little inner child of being a fan, and the height difference hasn't probably
No, but
changed
the
much
rest
for
of
Baker.
the
But yeah,
The rest of the team
Yeah.
got amongst it, and
Oh,
it was
yeah,
like,
it's good to celebrate.
and him
yeah.
celebrating himself is because he's fucking busted out his favourite jumper and he's done something in it, but they all fed off that energy. Like,
Yeah.
There's a wicked photo by like one of the photographers there after he's kicked it, and he's just jumping up and putting his hand, and his vertical leap is.
Huge,
Did
man.
you see the
Yeah,
photo?
Yeah.
It is like fucking this.
Yeah.
Like that's how excited he is, and he's just
Yeah.
like done this straight vertical leap, and he's just like my head high off the ground.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
wicked photo.
Unreal.
Anyway, yeah, that was gets me excited.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, mate. Like, I feel exactly the same.
And any player at any club going to their childhood club and then having that moment, I think is fucking awesome.
It's massive, yeah.
It's
And like you say, it shows really good signs because it's a pre-season game. It don't mean nothing, but how pumped he was and they all were for that to be the situation.
They're going to surprise a few teams this year.
well, I think
think
they
so, yeah.
both are.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
can
North
probably-
will as well. Yeah.
Well,
said
we
this,
can
yeah.
probably segue into the quick.
Oh,
brief
last one though.
Sorry.
Matt Kennedy traded from Carlton to the Western Bulldogs.
Yeah, which.
Oh yeah, the one with the weird haircut. Yep.
But the Dogs are riddled with injuries in their
Yeah.
midfield. So
Yeah.
like Kennedy, who plays half forward and mid when he needs to, is a great pickup.
100%.
They're gonna fall apart, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Bevo is
There's
not
gonna be a lot
going
of
to.
pressure
It's going to be hard for
on
Bevo
those
to
He's
go.
playing. He's coaching uncontracted.
Like Fremantle, yeah.
Bevo is.
No. Muir
All right, Jack.
is now an employee. He doesn't go on contracts.
Yeah.
He's like a staff member at Freo now.
That's wild.
He's a side chick. As soon as they find someone better,
he's
they're
a
gonna...
full-time staff member.
Yeah.
So that's better?
Well, it's only ever happened twice before.
What's his hourly rate?
I don't know. It's only happened twice before, and those coaches were John Noble and Brendan Bolton.
So it didn't
Bolton,
get...
that
That's
was
the other
one.
one.
We were
could've
talking
been-
about it in
yeah,
the
yeah,
car.
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave it at this brain, mate.
Yeah, good on you.
Can I
Good
send
on
you a
you.
water, please?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So the contract thing doesn't apply to him because he's a full-time member of staff.
But it's very easy for them to go, okay, you're a full-time member of staff. This is no longer your role. We've got someone new. Very, very easy for that to happen if he's no fucking good and then not getting to where they want to be.
Let me ask you, who's the next coach in the wings to take that job?
Oh.
Bevo.
Ken Hinkley.
Well, that
You laugh, but
they're both the only answers.
Yeah. Or horse.
And I think Bevo's not
No,
bad.
he'll go to Tassie.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
100%.
I reckon
Why-
He's already
No?
talk about it. Nah, Fakes is
Fakes
all
is
in
just
it
starting
recently.
into a fucking premiership fucking
Like, there's about to be a dynasty
run.
going on, yeah.
He's by the time
Buckley.
by
No,
the
Buckley.
time
He said he won't.
Buck said he didn't want to do it. Yeah, when he turned down the West Coast job, he was definitely going to turn down the Tassie job. He's enjoying media and fucking no pressure involved with it, but
I highly doubt you'll see Simo
Once-
return to coaching as well.
once that started getting immediate traction last year, and it was all locked in, and all the dates were set, and all the funding was secured, Horse went, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done with Sydney. See you later.
I'm
Bought
going
himself
to
a
take 2 years
2
off.
years off, yeah.
And
So I reckon there's already been a deal. So,
I
yeah.
reckon
I
that's-
don't think there's so much been a deal, but there's
the
definitely
conversations have been
discussion.
had for sure.
Yeah.
So like outside, you take Horse out of the equation. Stinkley's done this year,
Stinkley.
and
That's funny.
and Bevo's going to be done.
Yeah.
Right. Because Bevo, I feel bad for him now because it was make or break season for him, and then his entire midfield's gone down in the preseason, and that club's just going to take it out on him.
Is there any other coaches in danger? Like, were we thinking Ross Lyon if they start poorly? Or do you reckon they'll just persist?
What are they got? Who are they going to fucking replace him with? Their biggest
no desire for anyone
issue
to
is
go
no
there.
one wants to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
We're at the cusp of St Kilda collapsing.
And you've talked about it probably 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
How eventually they'll be out. It was either them or North Melbourne to be out, and North
And
Melbourne aren't
North,
fucking going
yeah.
anywhere. They've been saved.
So on that, I'm just going to tell you my thoughts, all right,
Go on.
on the teams based on their performances.
Are we skipping your topic? Do you not want to go?
I want to go last.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just nip over this, I think, because we're not going to review games anymore.
No,
boys.
we're not.
But
Fucking boring.
and especially in pre-season, but I'm going to tell you what I think the team's performance is going to be in the season based on their pre-season game, and I want you to tell me if that's ridiculous or not.
All right. Okay. Cool. Good game.
All right. So look at the results on your phones while I do this, because this will make
This
it
is
even,
from Priest. All right. Yeah.
this will make it even more interesting.
All right. Dan, clicking the wrong thing. It's been a minute. I haven't used the app for a while, so I'm just.
There was just
find
one
my way around
pre-season
again.
round, wasn't there? Technically,
Yeah.
The rest
Yeah.
were all just,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and because certain clubs didn't do so
Didn't
much.
do what they are probably going to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Certain clubs did.
Yeah.
Right? And certain clubs have to, because there's reason for it. So Geelong will be top 4.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Did they end up in the top 4 in your ladder predictor?
I think they're 5th. Like, and that's one game difference, I'm pretty sure it was.
Top 4.
Just
Right.
FYI for anyone that is listening, we all did ladder predictors.
It took me a while, but I got
And
there.
the other, we did these ladder.
Bro, you had him in
predictors-
7th.
Oh, did I? Oh, but that's probably one game I reckon. Like between 4th. And
I was tight at the bottom
2
last
games?
year. Yeah.
Three. So like that could.
I didn't even have him in the 8.
There
Jesus.
you go.
You fucked that royally, didn't you?
I don't think they're going to go there. I think they're going to finally come over the edge.
Nah, because their youth is good.
I had him 3rd.
Yeah, I think.
I think they're good. They're not that good. There's a lot of teams that are going to be hot, competing
be
hard
good.
for that spot.
So they got beaten in that preseason game
They did.
by not kicking straight,
Yeah, by not kicking straight and not
playing.
playing hard in the 4th quarter.
Lesson
at
didn't
all.
kick very straight. 17-2.
Yeah, it's the only time you'll see him do it for the next 4 years, I reckon.
Mm.
So Essendon, bottom 6.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I can get behind
Could
that.
even.
No, I reckon they'll be higher than that. They were better last year. Where have I got them? I've got them on 13th. Okay.
Yeah,
So pretty much
we've all
the
got them around there. I've got them 15th, you got them 14th, you got them 13th.
So, despite what their performance was, they're not going to kick 17-2 every week.
No.
No, heavens no. No.
Right?
No.
And if you kick straight like that and you just break 100 points,
Yeah, you're not doing enough.
you're not doing enough.
When your opposition is going to be going harder than what you're
And your
going in that game.
opposition only had to convert 5 of their behinds, and you lost that game.
Yeah.
So that's where I think that those teams are at.
Yeah, I can get
Richmond
behind that.
are literally going to finish last.
Yep.
I've seen some critical criticism of how they've done the wrong thing with their rebuild now. Honestly, I just don't get fucking footy media.
Nah,
Like,
one
it's-
pre-season game and they
it's-
fucked it.
It's like, if they didn't pull the fucking Band-Aid off, they would have been sitting down the bottom for ages.
yeah,
They're going to
100%.
finish last because they have barely any senior players.
Mhm.
They got to train all these kids. Adam Uzo's got a massive job on his hand
He
to...
knew that signing that contract and
Correct.
signing up
And,
to be that guy.
and they're just going to fucking soldier through it.
Uh-huh.
They're going to finish last. If they finish 17th, they have fucking... That's pretty much won a flag, in my opinion.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because they're
yeah.
doing it with a bunch of 18-year-olds, so essentially. And I really look forward to watching their development through the season
Yeah.
and see if they do get any cheeky wins. If they do, they should be celebrated, but they can go winless as far as
They'll snatch a couple. They'll push
You
a few.
don't-
Yeah.
You got to remember that the bottom teams over the last 5 years have snatched 1 or 2 wins from each other.
Yeah.
It's not been...
There's been West Coast and North battling it out for
Yeah,
the last 3 years.
or like one random win. So this Richmond team getting 1 will be impressive.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Collingwood, they kicked 132 against the worst team in the comp.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that all?
In a pre-season game, I think they took it seriously, and that's a good thing when you're bringing other players in. You want to get some cohesion.
Tim Embry kicked 4. What are you on about? You said
Correct.
he doesn't kick goals. He kicked 4 straight.
He didn't listen to a fucking word I said,
No,
did he?
no.
Oh, you said... Oh, okay. No,
He
I
was
said
the same.
I said it will work at Collingwood.
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but he kicked... That's good. He kicked 4. That's, it's good.
Because he can
well.
kick goals. He just couldn't at St Kilda because he was too busy doing other shit.
Yeah. But that's a good looking forward line, just looking at it on paper. Like Hill, Myercheck, Membry, Elliott.
no,
really
on-
didn't listen, did you?
On paper, it is the worst forward line, and that's what makes
Do you
it
reckon?
work. Yes.
It's that bad, it's good.
It's not that they're not individually bad,
Mm.
but they're all the
Collectively
wrong.
shit, yeah.
They're all the wrong sizes to build a forward line around.
To be playing amongst each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it will work. I don't think they'll be top 4. I reckon they'll be sitting bottom of the 8.
Do you reckon?
Just because they've had a movement of a lot of players. They've lost.
They've still got a
They've
lot
still
of
Houston,
strength.
all those
They've
boys come through
literally
the
lost
mids.
John Noble, who was their number 1 ball mover.
He barely played last year, though.
He played heaps last year.
Noble? Did he? He was dropped for a while.
No, he was
That's why he
back
cracked
in
the shit.
after the grand final.
Was he?
He was
Am I
dropped
thinking the year before that?
the year before. He got dropped after fucking dominating, and then
Did too, and then didn't get to play in the granny.
Yeah.
he's a fucking gun, mate. Like,
No,
He is
I
good.
love no. I think he's brilliant.
big ball
But-
mover for him. And you got to think they've got aging players that are so close to fucking
They've
hitting
got
that
literally
point
the oldest player
where-
of all time.
where they go, oh fuck, I can't go anymore. Oldest
Yeah.
player of all time,
No, not quite. But he's getting
like
close.
Dustin Fletcher, mate,
How old was Dustin Fletcher?
in his 40s.
Yeah, right, okay.
And then next after him was Boomer Harvey
Yeah,
at 37.
Harvey, yeah. Well, Pendles isn't far off 37. What is he,
Pendle's
36 this year?
35.
Yeah,
Kind of.
36 this year.
But he could hit the switch. And Boomer Harvey could have played another 5 seasons.
He could, yeah, could probably
He's still
still
playing now. He's
still
trapped.
Pull
He's
the
playing
jumper
now,
on
yeah.
and go. So
Yeah, look,
I think Pies performing the way they did.
they'll
in that
they'll
game,
be in the 8, yeah.
Yeah, it will be
I don't
the.
think you're ridiculous.
So I'd have them in the 8 and Geelong on the cusp of the 8. I would have it the other way around.
No,
All right, we'll see you at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Hawks and Western Bulldogs. This
Yeah.
game. Did you see what Sam Mitchell said on the boundary?
No.
Oh, he pretty much said we were lazy, we didn't bother, and we deserved to lose that game,
Yeah,
and we
okay.
got more work to do. And just did not sugarcoat it at all.
Yeah,
and
fair.
then went into the team and said, if you're not fit, you're not playing.
Hey, good on him. Good on him.
Well, by minimum standards, AFL, you
Yeah.
need to be fit.
Yeah, straight in there. If you're not fit, you're not playing.
Good on him.
sorted out.
Bring back the skinfold test. Name and shame.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He probably would try to do that because why would you take it out?
I don't think there's any chance that they're not happening at clubs. They're just not talking about them.
How's it funny? Jeremy McGovern spent the whole part of his career where skinfold test was still a thing, never passing it.
Right.
And if they brought it back now, it'd be the only time we
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
You
You
don't
fucking
even
nail
pass
it.
Yeah. So doggies, you can't take anything from their preseason game
No.
because Hawks did fuck all because they were just taking the piss, and the dogs are fucked with
They're
injuries.
injury
so-
ravaged.
Yeah, they won't be in the 8 this
People,
year.
no, they won't. No way. People think that Hawthorn are destined to be top 4.
No,
I
not
saw
this
someone
year.
had them fucking finishing first on the
Yeah.
ladder this year.
I think they will
That's
be
crazy.
That wasn't me, was it?
after seeing what's
No,
going
No,
on.
I got him
Close.
10th, I think.
Yeah.
So I was more.
I
Yeah.
think they'll barely make the 8 unless they start working for it.
Yeah. You reckon that they, as a playing group, thought that they'd just be able to cruise in and pick up from where they left off?
Yeah.
They haven't got enough talent.
And
to
they
do that
only
yet,
they
yeah.
only got there.
Or sort of consistency
They only
and
got to
continuity.
that point last year was by working their asses off. It's not just going to cruise for you now. You have to double down. It just because you brought Tom Barras in fucking doesn't mean that you're gonna.
Oh, we're never going to let a goal through.
Literally,
now,
everyone thought that if he goes there, Hawks can't lose. Well, he got fucking belted on the weekend. So.
It was momentum and work rate that got them there last
Correct.
year. Similar to
Work
Bulldogs
rate,
in 2016, it was just
100%.
a wave of momentum.
100%. If
That energy,
Hawthorn
that
had
winning
started
energy.
it, if they'd started that run 2 weeks earlier, they would have finished right up deep into September.
Yeah.
But they were a bit too late to get going. But it was the work rate that got them there. And if they're going to come in this year thinking that they don't need to work that way, well, you're not going to make your coach very happy because his whole career is based around busting your ass. Because it wasn't that he was a super talent; he was a super hard.
He was a
worker.
hard worker, yeah.
And
That guy is not afraid
And a
of
footy,
ground.
footy brain, but hard worker.
Yeah.
Brizzy Crom. This was one of the good preseason games.
I enjoyed that, yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think
you would
both.
have enjoyed that.
I think both sides were actually applying themselves to a relative degree, which is what made it good. Brizzy, first place, going to be.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that. That's amazing.
And after seeing Adelaide take it to them in an environment where they were both applying themselves, my impression of Crom has risen.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll surprise a lot of people this year.
In the 8, or not quite?
I've got him on.
Knocking-
I've got him in 8.
Knocking,
Yeah, I saw that,
knocking on
yeah.
the door, I think.
I think I had him in like 10th or
Yeah,
11th.
I had them lower than that. Now I think they'll be knocking on the door. Because,
They've got to win the close games.
Yeah.
But we've got the list to be able to challenge.
But this
Like,
is you don't take much from preseason ever, right? But in a game like this one where they actually did go hard, I think it's a good way to go. It's reigning premiers, and they both teams kind of applied themselves.
Yep.
Both had more to offer, but kind of did apply themselves. So. Good indication of both sides. Obviously, Brizzy, they'll just fucking put the foot on the throat when they need to for this year. So
Oh, yeah.
that's it.
Jordan Dawson, Smokey for the Brownlow. Watch him this year.
Yeah, Carlton will barely make the 8. They
Agreed.
will make the 8.
Is Voss going to be in trouble if they have an average year this year? Do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So I was worried about him a bit last year.
Yeah, no, last year I wasn't too concerned because he's got a window to work in.
Yeah.
But come now, they don't do it. GWS be top 4.
Yeah. Not by that score,
But you had one team busting their ass and one team not giving a flying fuck. And this is what I mean. Like, you look
the
at
joys
that,
of
you go,
pre-season, right?
yeah, it's right. But you got to focus on the performance of the day. And GWS we're just there for a drill.
Yeah.
We're here to get some legs in before we play opening round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did Longmuir call it? Vanilla footy.
Vanilla footy.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, that was about the Indigenous All-Stars game.
Yeah, we could have spoke about his last 3 years at Fremantle, but yeah, it was like,
exactly.
What do you mean you've just started now?
Because GWS play this week, so they don't
Yeah.
need to. They don't have a bye like some of the other teams. So
There's some teams that have got 2 weeks now.
That's
yeah.
right. Just roll them through, and they'll go real hard this week.
I reckon.
And you'll get a better indication.
They got a pretty brutal injury though, didn't they? A couple of pretty brutal injury list. A couple of their mids out, I think, from these preseason.
They've
games.
had brutal injury lists every year.
They've dealt with them, yeah,
They
100%.
just deal with them, mate.
Yeah.
And they'll continue to do so.
Yeah.
Suns, I can't get a read on them.
Nah, and we spoke about this after we did the ladder predictors, right? Like
I've got them
I hope
17th.
that we're- Yeah, no, we've got them low as well. I think like 15th and 14th
can't
around
get a
there.
read on them, and I
No.
wish I could say more right now.
I hope we're
can't.
wrong.
I got nothing out of that game.
No,
Sydney are gonna do fine.
See
They're going to
do what
struggle
City
at the
do.
start of the year with their injuries, but I think they'll be alright. They'll be top
Oh,
four.
I
I think it'll be interesting to see what changes have been made under Dean Cox. And how different their gameplay looks.
I don't think the gameplay will be that much different, but I think we'll see gradual changes. It'd
It's
be
them-
silly to come in and
yeah.
change it straight away and hard changes because it'll fucking
If it ain't
collapse.
broke, don't fix
It's
it.
more the mental strength.
Yeah.
Like when things aren't going your way,
And
they need to
he-
get better.
That man right there,
Yeah, good brain.
yeah. St Kilda, 17th.
Yeah, okay.
I think I had him somewhere silly from memory. Well, not silly, but probably
Fucking fourth.
17th.
Yeah, they'll be down there. Yeah, they looked pretty woeful.
17th. I think North will
Might have 15th, yeah.
17th. I think North and West Coast will be out win games on St Kilda. They'll beat them in games.
I think
Yeah,
the development's past them now, yeah.
They're fucked. They're shit. Port. I can't get a read on it.
I think top 4.
Do ya?
Yeah, I think that Lukosius is a big in.
Massive in.
is a big.
And
It
when-
does that does help fix that
Georgiadis,
forward line.
he's good.
And now
Not
that
been
Dixon's
injured,
finally
not been
retired?
injured.
Yeah.
Dixon's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God. Rosie will come back later on in the year. I think.
Yeah.
He was checked out, I don't know. He wanted to leave, didn't he?
Did he?
No, I'm not. No, sorry, not Rose. Who am I- The Butters. Butters
Butters,
is injured.
yeah.
Sorry, he'll come back in
Yeah.
and then.
Yeah.
No, I think they'll go top 4. They won't win, but they'll be
If
top.
they
4.
make top 4, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Definitely
I
lock
don't
them
know
in
if
for
they'll get that
finals.
far.
Definitely lock them in for finals, but
Yeah.
top 4, don't know. And then last but not least,
No.
2.
West Coast, North Melbourne.
Oh, sorry,
Freo
yeah,
Melbourne.
sorry, I hadn't scrolled the rest of that. West Coast and North both went hard as fuck.
Yeah. That was a good game too.
It was actually a very entertaining game of football.
Shit wind, so
Yeah.
unlucky.
North are going to shock more teams than West Coast will, by far. They kicked straight, they would have dominated that, but they didn't stick it in the end where it counted, and both those teams develop winning culture at the moment. So they really should have got it over the line.
I think both of them will shock a few teams. Neither of them will be 17, 18.
No.
They'll be
They'll be
15,
15,
16,
16, yeah.
We're gonna
Maybe,
see
maybe
how- yeah.
higher.
maybe higher. Yeah, when I
Yeah.
did the ladder predictor, just
Because
flying through
like
it.
I think like Essendon are going to drop hard.
Yeah.
Dogs are going to drop hard.
I agree.
So you
Saints,
don't.
obviously.
Yeah, they'll be fucking.
Richmond at the
Well,
bottom.
there's
Potentially
8
Gold
teams
Coast.
that could be. Yeah, who knows? So
But same with them. I think Darling will free up Zerha and Larky nicely. So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see the forward line function now.
well,
They'll
I think
have a lot of
I
targets.
think
That's
the
right.
Darling will be their key target, which takes pressure off Larky, so Larky can get more consistent kicking.
Yeah.
Because the reason that
And
what
more
chokes-
positioning too.
what
like
chokes
getting
him
the
up
right
so
spot.
much is he's the only target all the time. He gets all the defenders.
Yeah.
So the games where he gets a bag, he's like fucking just. It's all worked in his favour that day.
The same with your midfield now. You've got Graham, you've got Butler, you've got Reed, you've got Kelly.
Baker, not Butler.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Baker.
Baker, Butler, Candlestick Maker, whoever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Don't correct me when you know what I'm talking about.
If only you
sorry.
said butcher, that would
Yeah. Yoey as well, injured at the moment, but he'll come back.
Oh, yeah, so that you become, it's like, who do you tag there? Or not tag, but who do you pay attention to in the midfield then?
Yeah.
Or you push a few of the lads forward. Reed likes the mark. He tried to take a few speckies on that game.
He just missed that one. That he was.
He's gone for the car.
Mate, he was fucking in the moon in that one.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, anyway, we're not here. to
Freo
talk about
Melbourne.
West Coast.
These two teams are very hard to read.
D's, I think, are going down.
Yes, Freo will be playing finals. I don't think there's anything ridiculous about everything that you listed off there.
No.
I've got him in 11th, but
Who?
me.
Freo.
That was where my
Because
AFL
you
ladder
fucking
predicted.
hate them. That's why.
No, that
you
was
hate
me
them.
being
You hate them
realistic.
more than
So I was
I
like,
do.
but some of the games where they're versus the Bulldogs at home and St Kilda at home, I'm like, no, they'll drop those.
They won't.
No, they
Traditionally,
won't. They
they
will
won't.
fucking belt both of those teams.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess it may be.
Freo, if Freo are going to drop a game at home,
That's
it'll
gonna
be
be the
a
derby.
derby, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, as long as Longmuir brings the chocolate, not the vanilla game
Like,
style. then
honestly,
we might-
I think they're
Yeah.
primed
Bring the
to
Neapolitan, three different flavours.
they're primed to have a season where they belt everyone at Optus.
Yeah.
The only one they might drop will be against West Coast because it's a derby. Who fucking knows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, if like they've got the playing list, it's the game style which will make or break him this year. I think
Game style's fine.
with Freo.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what's hurt them
They've
the
got a
last
lot of
two
that fast footy. and
last
fast
2
forward.
years has been the amount of youth still developing, which now though everyone is hitting 50 games, so there's no reason why they not bang on with it.
Mhm.
And they've had a couple of seasons to really get it moving. They will 100%
And they look fit too.
fit. Yeah,
Really
just
fit.
my only gripe with them is they still have Alex Pearce on the team.
Well, he's the captain, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's fucking constantly injured or just doesn't give a fuck. He honestly shows zero on-field leadership. It is frustrating to watch. When
Who'd be a good step in for him?
Well, you
Do you
got
reckon Sarong?
Sarong. Look, he's like leaves nothing out, leaves everything out there. Like,
Yeah.
everything on the field, every single game. Like he leads by example, and he leads with his players in his area. He is constantly fucking moving everyone, get it going, like. And you got Alex fucking. I'd have to have fucking soy in my coffee, Pierce or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's the man bun
drink it
effect.
out.
Yeah. It's who's
Almond milk.
It's,
Yeah.
it's all chill, man.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what
very Fremantle.
that's
If you've
what
ever
he-
been to Fremantle, yeah, it's
no, but
very,
that's what he comes across as.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, yeah.
It's very chill, man. Like, and it's I'm injured again, but that's okay.
Yeah. The boys will do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, guys, just take care of each other. Out. That's what he looks like as a captain.
I can't
to me.
argue with you.
In
Yeah.
Woodstock, kind of love and peace, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like you need a fucking general out there.
Mm-hmm. Should we do the tips real quick?
Yeah.
Which
Have you done yours?
Oh,
he hasn't.
where are we putting him in? What?
On the tipping app,
Jesus
you fucking
Christ.
squeezer.
No,
You
I'm
joined
talking
the
about
com-
predictor. there's too
Do
much,
the
bro.
tips. It's
You
too
went-
much.
Stop
Anyway.
yelling at me. Hang on.
I went Brisbane, Sydney, Gold Coast Giants.
Did you? I went Brisbane, Hawthorn, Gold Coast Giants.
There you go.
And my margin for Brisbane was 14.
Hang on.
Mine's
Where's the
24.
predictor? What is it? Hang on. Oh god.
Oh, good lord. This
Chad-
is exactly what
Hang
we
on,
were trying
hang
to
on, hang on.
avoid.
Chad's
I'll just
getting
look-
donuts.
Hang on. I'll look through the app. Hang on.
Literally donuts. Yeah.
I will go.
You can't
I'm
do
buying
it
the
through
coffees
the-
again next week.
No, I'll
It's
go.
fine.
I'll go
I
Brisbane,
didn't even drink mine.
Brisbane,
Oh, didn't you?
Sydney Bombers, GWS.
Put them in then. What's your margin for Brisbane?
I reckon 30 points.
14, 21 and 30. Nice. Be interesting to see what happens with that. Anything else?
No.
Anything else?
No, I think we've come back with a bit of fire. It's good.
I think we have come back with a bit of fire.
We've gone over an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You blew that time frame well out.
Yeah.
But that's okay. There's probably about 15 minutes of you fumbling through an intro before we actually got to anything recordable anyway. So,
Dude.
all right. I got nothing else.
No, all good.
All right. So enjoy the first opening round, 4 games, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Very well.